YouTube, what it do? We back with another one. As you can see by my cuz shirt, Jay Jersey, my background, we talking them Mavs. And so today's episode, guys, we're gonna have an action-packed one today, man. It's a lot to get into. We got to talk about the press conference of Nico Harris and of Jason Kidd. There's a couple of free agents that are being linked to the Mavericks right now, man. Of course, y'all know it's always going to be a free agent talk whenever we have these episodes because it's summertime. It's all you got to talk about is free agency. And we also got to talk about some comments that Iggy himself made, Andre Iguodala. And before we start that, guys, you already know what today is. Today is the release of Space Jam. Just want to let y'all guys know. I hope everybody got to go see it. I'm going to see it tomorrow. I know Will said he's going to see it tomorrow too. I had to pop out these bad boys right here. Those Space Jam 11.
Seriously?
I did it for Jay. But yo, other than that, man, let's go ahead and get into this, man. So the Mavs had introduced their new head coach and their new GM, Nico Harris and Jason Kidd. Just get y'all's thoughts on it, man. What are some takeaways y'all had from this press conference, man? There's a lot to take out of this press conference. I heard the whole entire thing. Let me start with you, Jay. What you take away from this press conference, bro?
Couple of things. So, for one, there clearly doesn't appear to be any plans to trade KP, at least not anytime soon.
I have my opinions on that video.
And I think that the points that they made in terms of, hey, like, you know, we kind of want to get our hands on them and let's see what, you know, we can do with our schemes. Couple digs at what Rick was using, how Rick was using them, were used throughout the
yes, you were digging, we digging back. So what's up with?
Yeah, I was okay with that. So at least from their perspective, they want to at least see if they can make something work with them before, you know, discussing the kind of alternative options, which I approved of. I don't know if I would have gone so far as to what Mark said about how, like, he's getting unfairly maligned because he was being told he was doing what he's being told to do, but he was being told to do what he was being told to do because he's proven that he can't do anything else. So it's like, since you can't just go stand in the corner and then if you open, take a shot, and not give it back to Luka.
Shots fired.
That's at least how it was set up. Now, you know, I'll give Jason the opportunity to, you know, like he said, you know, work with him and see how they can get them to work together in a better dynamic. And certainly that would be the preferred thing if it would work out that way. But that was one of the biggest takeaways for me. Also, I did appreciate St. Marshall being up there and kind of discussions that she had with Jason prior to them deciding to bring him on. You know, there were questions about whether or not they should have those type of discussions at the press conference, but certainly I don't think we need to know what the discussions I don't need to know the details behind their discussions, but for me, if she felt like the discussions they had showed enough in terms of his growth that she felt confident enough to recommend him or to, I guess, give her stamp of approval, then you know, that's okay. I mean, I'm not saying that it absolves everything. I'm not saying that it was still the best decision they could have made, but at least there was some effort made to kind of do all the appropriate due diligence with someone who obviously we know has dealt with similar situations in her past,
right, to
feel like things have progressed well enough that he has changed, or at least he's indicated that he's changed. So I respect the fact that she felt comfortable with the signing, despite the backlash that he got, which, you know, rightfully so in my opinion, but you know, it's not up to me to say, you know, whether it was the right or wrong decision, but I certainly can say that it was worth the second look. And again, we talked about this before. It's not to say that he shouldn't be a coach anywhere, but just all the stuff that's happened with this organization, it just looks away when they decide to make that type of a leap. But if she was okay with it, you know, I can understand the reasoning behind the decision to go ahead and move forward. And then also for me, last thing I'll talk about before I hand it off is there's a lot that, for me, I'll say one thing. I thought Jason Kidd was reading when he was talking about his little spiel. It looked like he was reading. Because
Yeah,
he was
yeah,
locked in one little
yeah,
area and he wasn't
yeah.
locked. He wasn't looking anywhere else.
And
And he had the
it didn't
glasses
sound
on. I
fluid
was
either. It sounded
like,
like you, yeah, like yeah, yeah,
is he reading
yeah.
this? I mean,
I said
and
that
they
too.
had so much time between when the actual announcement went down that he got hired to when he did
Mm,
the press conference that he had time to write something, to rehearse it or whatever else. So, I'll take that for whatever it was. But it could have been worse. Obviously we saw how bad it was with the Portland press
yes,
conference when
yes.
the Portland PRA wouldn't even let Billups even discuss the issues that he had in his past.
Hmm.
So I appreciate them at least mentioning it. I appreciate some of the reporters for actually having the gall to actually bring it up because
Yeah,
people were kind of dancing around it. But like
yeah,
there
yeah.
was a
First,
couple
like
people
few
like
minutes.
Tim
Yeah,
Cato.
yeah,
Tim Cato did a good job. Maria Guerrero did a good job of just like pinpointing and saying, no, like this is what we need to hear. So I
mm-hmm.
appreciate them holding their feet to the fire to at least get that because I mean, if we're being honest, that's what everybody wanted to hear. Like all this other X and O stuff, whatever. But people were
We got
upset
time for that.
about this specific issue. So how are you going to make people feel better about the decision that you made? So
Right.
all in all, not a bad conference, not a great conference, but wasn't the worst thing in the world. So those are my overall thoughts on it.
What you got, cuz?
So with the uh, on Nico's side of it, I enjoyed it. And just him giving a good understanding of that he's been around basketball for a long time. Even with the one of the questions that asked him if he's being doing any scouting or whatnot when it comes to this upcoming draft, he's like, I've been basically scouting the last 19 drafts, so yes, I'm updated on this one as well. Uh, Especially the players coming out. So just knowing that he stays close to the game.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, he did with Nike basketball, but just having that knowledge as well. And then he was on Sean and RJ this morning on
Yeah, I heard that too.
101.53 The Fan.
Yeah.
And just one important question that I think Sean asked really greatly was if I were to call you, if I was to call the Mavericks right now with the trade,
Yeah.
who's going to
Yeah.
pick up? It was
Yeah.
like me. You will be talking to me. And with that, I was like, okay, I'm good with this.
Right.
I understand and during the press conference, one of the questions was who has the final say,
Yeah.
which is Mark with the money side. Which okay, I get it, but I don't want Mark to have majority of the voice when it comes to it. I want Nico. I want Nico, the scouts, and Kid to be able to work together to create create a plan to be able to get the players that they want and to be able to move forward. So on the Nico side, I really enjoyed. For J Kid, it was good. Like they said, especially at the very beginning, it looked like he was just locked on was reading. It was
Yeah.
really weird.
Yeah.
Uh, but when it came to the questioning, the part that I liked with his answers just sticking with the X and O side of it for now was the defense. He wants to bring more defense to the Mavs. Being able to, that's what he had in Milwaukee, had getting play defense. Being in the Lakers, the talent allowed them to be so good in defense. So just him knowing that, hey, we got offense, but if we want to win, we're going to have to play some defense as well. So with them, that's like one of the first things. So okay. Okay. I just hope that they don't. What I want them to be able to do when they go for the defense is to find more balanced players instead of just a 3 and D guy. 3 and D is nice, but actually give me a balanced guy, someone that can be able to put the ball on the floor to move as well. That can also defend as well. Because I think that would allow for a more well-rounded player. So I think that'd be really important. As far as the domestic violence side of it, I think, like they were saying, with them having Sin out there, having a discussion, being able to talk about actually just owning it.
Mm-hmm.
Like yeah, I have a past. My past isn't perfect. We was able to talk about it, show that I've made progress to do better, to be better, and with that, Sven has set up a program to where if you're going to be part of this organization, this is the criteria of being part of this organization, no matter where you are on the payroll. So I think that was really important. for them to be able to stand in that and talk about it, and also for the media to ask their questions, because that is news. It's newsworthy, so it needs to be discussed. And trying to dance around it or not discuss it just makes it look that much worse. So being able to clear the air with it was really good. But overall, I thought it was a decent news conference. Gave us information that we wanted. Just so weird that it took so long, but also a lot of has been going on, and it's good to hear that uh, he has talked to Luca, even though Luca's overseas, of course, getting ready for the Olympics. It is good that he talked to him, being the star on the team, being able to converse back and forth because. If we talk of sports, when it came to the Cowboys hiring McCarthy, he hadn't talked to Dak. It was a while before he talked to Dak. And he had been hired, I think it was at least a month or
over
so,
10 years
something crazy.
earlier.
Yeah, like he had been hired for a while. He hadn't talked to Dak. It was like, but this is your quarterback. Like, how do you not talk to your quarterback on day one? So I think that alone shows like he's focused with it and moving forward. I think this, like I said previous, I give them a little bit of time to see how they're going and what steps they do forward.
Yeah, I'm with y'all, man. It's a lot I took from this person. A lot. Let me start with the Nico thing. Um, I can feel the energy. I guess I don't know if any of y'all can feel that. I can feel like that energy that came from both of them. Um, I can tell that. I think the one thing that Nico said that kind of caught my attention is like you had touched on, cuz it's the fact that he said he's been involved. He's been involved with every level of basketball for Nike for like the last like 19 years. So that right there kind of gives me, a little bit of relief knowing that he's also paid attention to the college side. And we talked about this before. It's like with the whole draft thing. It's like, are you going to focus on the draft? Who's going to be that guy that's going to, go out there and scout and just really put forth the effort towards the draft? Because we know over the last, I don't know how many years, probably since Dirk has been drafted, that the Mavericks don't really care about the draft. They draft people and then they trade them off to try to swing for the fences or whatever. And that right there kind of gave me a little relief. It's like, okay, so now I know he knows how to kind of evaluate the college side and all that stuff. I don't know about the overseas thing. I think we talked about it before. That side of basketball might be gone. I hate to say it, Mass fan, but that side might be gone. I don't know. Because I think when he kind of got familiar with Luka when Luka was in the league, I think. I'm not 100% sure because Luka was already signed with Nike before he came to the NBA. So I'm not
Right.
100% sure how that whole thing is developed. But yeah, I like that about Nico. Mark kind of said some things too. I'm going to get to him in a minute. The whole Jason Kidd thing, I'm not going to lie to y'all. When the one female reporter had asked him and Sid, about the whole rape allegations and all that stuff, I'm not going to lie. I was like, ooh, it's kind of getting a little tense now because she asked a question. I think somebody else kind of asked a similar question before that.
Tim.
Yeah, Tim Cato had asked, and so I was thinking to myself, like, man, that's been really kind of get serious. Cause like Jay said, at first, a lot of them were dodging around those questions. And now it's like, okay, now they're really trying to get to it, man. And like I said, it's better that you go ahead and just put it out there in the forefront because you're not going to be able to hide from it, especially in today's age where you either tell us what's up now, or people gonna start speculating, and then you don't want them to do that because then they'll start just speculating stuff they ain't got nothing to do with, or be way off from the truth or whatever. And so I also I like some of the stuff that kid was saying too. His focus is going to be on development, and he brought up the fact that he helped develop Chris Middleton and Giannis. And of course, we already know he bring back Sean Sweeney as one of his assistant coaches, who's a development coach. And also, I guess I didn't bring this up too before we started. So the Mavericks are also looking to hire Luca's old European coach, who he won a championship with. He's also going to be part of the coaching staff. Igor, how you pronounce his last name?
No idea.
Coach, yeah, just
Igor, Coach
Igor.
Igor.
Igor, yeah, just look up new Mavs assistant coach. Y'all know who he is. He coached the Phoenix Suns for 1 year. That was the year before they ended up getting Monty Williams. Um, I think this is also kind of a move to kind of you want to make Luka more comfortable. And I think that some of the stuff that Jason Kidd was saying, you're going in with the right mind frame. I wasn't 100% on Jason Kidd, but I'm starting to move slowly over towards, okay, you know what? Maybe this is a pretty good hire because you're going in with the right mind frame. And I think that he's also kind of touched on this too in the press conference that he's learned a lot over the last few years. Him sitting back for 2 years behind someone else to kind of look like, okay, so this is some of the ways you need to approach certain things. Because he even said himself, he said, I thought I had all the answers. I thought I knew everything when I came out the league. And for him to kind of admit that, man, that made me feel better. Because some of the stuff that he was saying was some of the stuff that we knew about him as a coach. It's like, bro, he just, I don't know. And so for him to say that he's grown, he's learned, and he's going to take some elements from different coaches, whether it be Frank, it be Rick, whatever, when he played under him or whatever, just to know that, listen, you have a structure, they have a plan, and they're going to try to stick with it. You sold me. You got me. Like, I just wanted this kind of, I'm just glad that we were able to hear what he has in store and what he has planned. He understands what he has in Luka. He understands that, listen, I'm going to build me a coaching staff that's known for development. We talked about this before in the previous video. You got 3 rookies on this team that have potential if you can just develop them right. And Jason Kidd is also known as a coach known for developing players.
I would say 4.
Who's the other one?
Nate Hidden could be nice.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I forgot about Nate Hidden. I apologize. Yeah, Nate Hidden 6'6". Houston. Nice. Yeah, like you said, those 4 players, he's gonna have a chance to kind of get his hands on them. And I like the fact too that like Will had touched on, as soon as he signed it on the dotted line, man, he was calling Luka. Listen, man, I'm not trying to bother you, but let's just talk. You know what I'm saying? Let you get you an understanding of what I'm here, what I'm gonna do to help you, and what we're gonna try to put in place to help you. And the fact that he said he talked to Tyrell Terry and other guys. He said he didn't talk to Josh Green because Josh Green right now is in trying to playing for Australia right now in the Olympics.
Right.
But the fact that he talked to the rookies and he talked to Luka, man, you got me. You got me. As long as you learn from your mistakes prior to, as far not just personally with the whole rape stuff, but also as a coach, and understand that you did not have all the answers. And the fact that he said he's going to try to put people around him, smart people around him, that he can actually listen and learn off of them too. Like I said, all that sold me, man. But I didn't get on Mark Cuban yet, so I'm gonna say this for now. It's gonna be a pretty interesting one. So we all know, we all kind of have our opinions on how Mark is running things right now. There's a few things that Mark said in this press conference, man, that kind of had me scratching my head. So let's go ahead and get in the elephant in the room right now, because I think we all was thinking this when we heard this. They asked him, matter of fact, I think it might have been Tim. Tim might have been the one that asked him, what is the status on Bob? Yeah. Still don't know. Danced around the question. Did not want to answer. Gave some BS excuse like, oh, I don't discuss, who's
on the
payroll or people not on the payroll, but you have a press conference with 2 people on the payroll.
Dummy.
That confused the hell out of me. And also the fact that, let me ask y'all this. Y'all can touch on the Bob thing too. Do y'all think that we have a definitive pecking order now?
No.
Okay, because he didn't. He kind of danced around that a little bit. He didn't give a definitive answer on the pecking order. He just started naming people.
He just named who was on the table.
Yeah, exactly. I was like, because he didn't even name Michael Finley. We don't know what Michael Finley is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I don't think it's definitive, but I think with Nico, it is more defined than what it was with.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, with the.
I don't even know if that's true. I just can't believe anything he says. I'm sorry. Like,
no,
that's understandable.
I think it's just because of Nico being Nico. He's coming from Nike, who is a legit business, and people have defined roles. Yeah. So I think that's is where I think it will be more defined. Not necessarily just a definitive pecking order, but roles will be more defined.
Yeah, because he said that in the conference. He was like, he's been known for building, not just, I know this player, I know that player, like building, overall. And like I said, he has the reputation of he's hit every level of basketball and kind of building relationships and stuff like that. Because also, too, I heard, too, that I think that they were saying that Nico's going to be like the closer of the group. Like, they get a player in, Finley and them go to telling you about, look, we're going to pay you this and that and this. Nico is that guy that's gonna close it. You know what I'm saying? Because of the relationship and stuff like that, and him being able to kind of communicate with some of those different players and stuff like that, and it's kind of having me in as a closer. But for me, man, I kind of with Will. I don't think he's an end all be all, but I think he does have a definitive role. So I think that with everything that happened in that Tim Cato article, I think they're going to be a little bit more not tight lip. It's going to be a little tighter as far as like who makes the decisions, how they make the decisions and stuff like that. I think that'll change. But I don't think the fact that Mark Cuban's going to make I want this guy. I don't think that's going to change. But I think that everybody having their definitive role, I think that's going to kind of change a little bit. Not to where it's like I told you in one of the videos, Jay, that, you know, when you call in Miami, you get 2 different phone calls. You know what I'm saying? You don't know who the guy to talk to about making this trade or whatever. And so, like I said, I think like Will said, I think it's going to be a definitive role instead of it just being chaos or whatever. It's like, okay, Mark, you been listening to you today, when he can listen to this guy tomorrow type stuff. You know what I'm saying? It's going to have a definitive role.
I mean, I'll just believe it when I see it.
Like I said, I understand.
I'm not like, I can appreciate y'all's optimism. Like I really can. I'm not there. I just don't have it because I mean, granted, the change in GM and head coach is a step in the right direction.
Yeah, but
I still got to see it. Like that's not enough. And then, like, I know you touched on Bob. And I know Will probably heard this morning. You know, they asked Nico about.
Yeah, I heard that too.
Bob, and he didn't. He basically made it seem like
he didn't know
he was still gonna be there because he was like, I gotta talk to him and figure out what his role is. And all that type of stuff. And it's like, I'm pretty sure Mark didn't want you to say that, but now it's like the fact that it's to me, it sounds like he's still involved in some capacity. To me, is like 1 step forward, 2 steps back. To me, because you're not saying that he was the only problem,
but he was.
But if you really trying to move forward, there's like you can find. I'm not saying that analytics is important because it is. You can find somebody else to do analytics. You don't have to be him. But the fact that, from all intents and purposes, and the fact that he's not definitively saying he's not going to be here, to me, what's wrong with saying that someone's not going to be there?
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, you fired Donnie, so that's obvious that he's not going to be there. So what's wrong with saying that he's no longer part of the organization? Like, I just don't understand why you feel like you can't comment on that.
Yeah, I didn't get that either.
Like, you saying, "Oh, I don't comment on people who are on payroll," but you sitting next to 3 people that are on the payroll, and you talking about them. So what are you talking about? So it's just like you trying so hard to be secretive, but you're not doing a good job of it. You're being very lazy about it. And then Nico, who sounds like he's a very genuine dude, who's doesn't seem to be like the smoke and mirrors type that's gonna say one thing just to say something. You know what I'm saying? Like, he seems to be a really genuine dude, and so that's why he said today, like, it sounds to me like there's still some sort of relationship there. And he said, I haven't talked to him, but I need to talk to him and figure out what his role is in X, Y, and Z. Mm-hmm. That to me means he's still around. Right. So I can't be as excited knowing that this dude is still around. Now, certainly that doesn't mean that the same thing is going to happen. I mean, there's still obviously an opportunity to create those boundaries that should be boundaries and you shouldn't step over them. But to me, it's like, clearly Bob has shown he's a habitual line stepper, and Mark has not given him any sort of, like, to me, it doesn't appear that Mark has really ever reprimanded him for that, especially the fact that he's still going to be around, and the fact that his contract is up, meaning you signed him to a new contract?
Yeah.
So it's like, I'm sure it's not a 1-year contract. So, like,
right.
You know what I'm saying? So it's just
he didn't get the veteran minimum.
There you go. So to me, it's like, I mean, this press conference looked great. You had 2 weeks to prepare for it, so it should have looked great. But like, all the stuff that's being said is all well and good, and I understand you guys like being excited about what's being said. But to me, you can say whatever you want. I gotta see it like that. Right. Like, you saying one thing doesn't mean anything to me. So I'm skeptical because of the fact that all the opportunities they've had to be able to show that they moved on from this whole Tim Cato scenario, they haven't really shown that. All they did was fire Donnie, which apparently that was getting fired before the article even came out anyway, so they didn't really have a say. That wasn't they didn't play a role in that decision.
Mm-hmm.
And then you had Rick quit on his own. So
right.
really, there has not been any sort of changes made after the article came out, other than hiring the 2 spots that were already going to have to be filled anyway.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. Like it's that optimism ain't there for me yet. I just got to see some results before I'm saying, you know what? I changed my mind. You know what? They were right all along, or but not Nico. Nico aside, right? Nico appears to be, a good hire. Obviously, we don't know what he's done because he's never done this before. Yeah, he has experience in other things that could be applied to this, but he still has never done this. So he still has to kind of show and prove as well. I just, to me, there were more questions for me than answers, especially after Nico this morning. I was just like, oh, all right, so he's still there.
Yeah.
I mean that would have been the one thing, like, and I'm sorry for rambling, but that would have been the one thing that would have been like, okay, now we can really turn the page. Like if you would said Bob is gone, but like, all right, cool, we really starting fresh, pressing the reset button, we moving forward in a whole different direction. I respect it. But the fact that you still got this dude hanging around still makes me skeptical of what, even if Jason and Nico go in with the best intentions, if this fool's still in the background playing puppeteer to some degree and vetoing certain things, then it's like, what purpose do they serve if they can't even really be able to do things on their own without having this person behind them questioning or potentially getting in the way of them wanting to do what they want to do?
Like I said, that's understandable, man. Because like I said, that's you knew that question was gonna be asked. You know what I mean? Because the whole entire Tim Cato thing was pretty much predicated on this guy here, the Bob guy.
Right.
And for you to sit there and, like you said, you had 2 weeks to kind of prepare yourself. And the only answer you gave us was, I mean, he could be or he couldn't be. Like, kind of stuff is that, bro? Listen, this guy, it seemed to be the problem that y'all was having in your previous regime. Like, why is he still there? Like Jay said, he was a free agent, which means if he's still with the group, that means you re-signed him back. I think Locked On Mass was saying something about they think what it is he's not going to be around the team, but he's going to still be with the organization.
But why? Like what does he bring that's so important that you can't replace it? Like,
listen, I told y'all this on the previous video when I read down his so-called history of the moves he made for the Mavericks. What in that resume to make you seem like, you know what, let me keep the dude? Like what is it? Like you said, if you were looking for an analytic guy, you can find another analytic guy, bro. You know what I'm saying? It's not like he's not the only analytic guy out there. And so that confused me too. It's just like, why are you dancing around this question and why are you still keeping this guy? Like, what is he? Did he have something on you or something? Like, what's going on? Like, it's confusing as hell, bro. And I don't know, man. I see where you're going with that though, Jay. I do. I guess it's just, I don't know. Because now you kind of got me thinking, like, man, we can really trust Mark Cuban what he's saying in this whole press conference thing, as far as he's saying this, you know what I'm saying, people having a certain pecking order and all that stuff. It's basically this guy's still there.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't know about the pecking order, but I feel like the defined role because of Nico. I think Nico creates the defined roles, and that's it. But yeah, I don't trust anything that Mark Cuban says, but I trust Nico, and I trust that Jason Kidd has had the time to learn and become a better coach.
I feel like too, from what I'm hearing from Nico, I think Nico is going to be a little bit more aggressive than what Donnie was. But there is one thing Mark Cuban said that I should agree with him. His style of GMing, man, that's you got to change it up, man. Something's got to change. You got to do something different. And like we said on the
ownership.
Well, yeah, that too. But like, you know what I'm saying? We said this before. How many times did we say, like, okay, Dallas had what they call it, the powder is dry, but you're going out here and you signing OJ Mayo. You know what I'm saying? This is like, bruh, come on, man. Like, you have to, it's something that's, we said this too before too. Like when we was talking about the free agents not wanting to come. And I think they touched on this on 105. Now that you have a Jason Kidd and you have a Nico, maybe the free agents do want to come to Dallas now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because, like I said, I don't know Donnie's relationship with a lot of players in the league. But of course, like we said before, didn't hear too many players. I didn't hear any players, speaking glowing words of a Rick Carlisle, other than the 2011 team. What supposed to say that they won a championship, but any other team around it, like I didn't hear any former Indiana Pacer players. I didn't hear any former Detroit Piston players. You know what I'm saying? Players now in the Mavericks, haven't heard any of them say anything about Rick Carlisle. So
nothing.
So that what kind of had me leading, like what Thomas had brought up. It was like maybe it's the front office or it's the coaching. I don't hear anybody saying it.
And then you saw like all the people that were giving Mosley love when he got hired by Orlando. Like it was like, okay, all the Mavs players were tweeting about it, but none of those folks said anything when Carlisle left.
That's what we said, and we said that on the last video. It's like with Jason Kidd. How many players did we hear endorsing Jason Kidd? You know what I'm saying? Dame Lillard wanted Jason Kidd. I don't hear anybody saying that about Rick Carlisle. And so for those who are watching, I know you don't like to hear anything bad about anything dealing with the Mavericks, but you have to. It's the truth. Tell me a time that you heard a player endorsing Rick Carlisle other than the 2011 team. There's no other players. You know what I'm saying? And so with the whole Jason Kidd thing, man, like I said, I like what I heard from Jason Kidd as far as like he has a plan. He is going to focus on developing, because we also said too, we don't think that Rick Carlisle was big on developing. He was always successful with a veteran heavy team. Like I said, prime example, what happened with Dennis Smith. You know what I'm saying? You had a chance to coach that dude up. I really feel like we still had Dennis Smith with Jason Kidd with his developing coaching staff. We don't know what Dennis Smith could have been. He could have been something.
He's a free agent.
Oh, he is a free agent. You think he'll want to come back though? You know what? I don't know if he'll want to come back. I don't know if he'll want to come back. Not because of the Rick Carlisle thing, but Mark Cuban kind of made some comments too, bro. Around that time too. So I don't know if he'll want to come back. I'm
just saying, if you had to package JB to get somebody, in off season,
but yeah. What's I gonna say? But yeah, I mean, just a few things from the press conference, y'all. Like I said, if y'all haven't seen the press conference, y'all can kind of Google it or go on YouTube and type in Mavs new coach GM press conference. Man, it's a lot to take from it. We can turn the page here, y'all. So there are some more rumors. Of course, y'all know there's always some rumors when it comes to free agency, man. And there's a couple of players that now the rumors are really starting to get heavy on. I want to kind of get y'all's opinion on it. I guess we've talked about these two players before, but I just want to see if your minds have changed since then. So the first rumor is the fact that the Mavericks are definitely looking at Nerlens Noel. I want to get y'all opinion on that. Y'all want to get Nerlens Noel?
Well,
didn't we already have him before?
Yeah.
He was good when he was here. I thought. I mean, not great, but he was like.
You know what?
Our level, our threshold for centers is not very high. Like our center threshold is like, you know what I'm saying?
I had to think about that too.
I'm just saying, bro.
Yeah, I think the tires. I check them out.
Now you know what too. Now that we have a new developing coaching staff,
could be different.
It could be different. You're right. It could be different. I mean, the dude's 6'11", he's rangy. I would feel better with him on pick and roll defense and guarding on the perimeter. You know what I'm saying? Compared to KP or whatever, what Boban was doing again in the Clipper series. I think he would have did a whole lot better because, like I think you touched on it before, Jay, in a couple of videos. His defense, like he got better with his defense and stuff like that, rim running and all that after he left Dallas.
Yeah,
when he was in OKC, when he was in New York, because really the OKC got him the New York contract.
Yes,
and so you get him here, maybe what you say, a vet minimum?
Yeah, it have to be.
Got to be a vet minimum. Yeah, now, if you sign him, Willie's gone.
Okay,
I'm just making sure. I know you want to get that Willie jersey, man, for your birthday and stuff. So I understand. You know what I'm saying? I mean. Like Will said,
I'll take the tires and check. I think Tyson Chandler is interested. If he actually does interested in coaching, and I think that'll be a huge step because now you have a big name coach that will be able to let them know, say, yo, you can chew gum and walk at the same time as the big fella. You ain't got to do just one or the other. You ain't got to
Yeah.
do just one or the other. Because, I mean, Tyson, he could move, he could defend, he could rebound, he could that roll to the basket, him and Dirk.
Yes.
That was the thing of beauty. So he played perfectly off of Dirk. So I
Mhm.
Yeah.
think he'll be able to teach that to to the Dallas big man being able to play off of a your
Chris Paul.
superstar off exactly. So I think it'll be. I think yeah. I think the Tires take him out. Uh, I think it'd be worth it.
Okay. So we got a 2 yeses and a maybe for me.
It
So
just
next
depends on the price, man. I think
that's the
that's
only
all.
Of course,
thing.
of
Because I'm
course,
hearing them
of course.
linked to Dallas, but what are you talking about?
Right.
Yeah.
And do you I guess I look at him as like Dennis Smith. Do you think he really want to come back? Or do
Look,
you know what though? I
he
think
messed
with
that
him
up.
it was more Rick.
Well, that and he messed up. Like, I mean, they offered him a deal.
Yeah,
Like,
Yeah, they
more
did.
money than
he messed
he.
that up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I don't know why. I mean, I get what you're saying. No, like I mean, I'm sure it's almost like now you look at
a fresh
all the
start.
people that we missed out on before or that
Mm.
left before. It's like it's supposedly supposed to be different now. So you kind
Right.
of have to look at it from that perspective as well. Like they're not going back to the same situation they had before they left.
Right.
So maybe there's something there that's more enticing because of the fact that you got Jason Kidd coming in. And I don't know who Noel shoe, if he even has a shoe, I don't know. But I'm sure he's at least has some sort of experience with Nico to some degree that maybe there's some offering there. But again, if there is any issue with Mark, that may be out the window. Who knows?
Yeah.
But yeah, I think now that regime is gone, like a lot of them are still are now back as an option because what could have potentially pushed them out before is no longer there as a hindrance.
Because who would you going back to the Dennis Smith thing? Who would you rather have, Dennis Smith or Trey Burke?
Dennis Smith.
Okay, me too.
Absolutely.
Yeah, me too. I would like to. I know I seen a bunch of Mavs fans like a couple months ago, kind of trying to get Dennis Smith back in Dallas. I wouldn't, like I said,
love it, man.
yeah, I would love it. I love to see him, come on back, man. Like I said, I would love for him to be developed under the new Jason Kidd regime, because now you're gonna have a coach. It's not gonna be, kind of micromanaging you now. You know what I'm saying? Because you heard what Jason Kidd was saying in the press conference about Luka. That's not somebody you just put the reins on. And him being the type of point guard that went out there and did some of the stuff that he did, it's like, listen, he said, I have an understanding of what he's going through now.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's going to open up the communication between him and Luka to where they're going to communicate a whole lot better. And you're not going to feel like you got somebody that listen, if that's the case, we don't know what that can unlock with Luka. You already seen where he is at right now with the guy who's micromanaging him. Just imagine if you got a coach that's going to let him loose. Like, what do you think that's going to do?
That's another thing. Sorry.
Now go ahead.
Why would you even bring Bob around still when you know Luka don't not like? I completely forgot about that dynamic of it. It's like, I'm sorry.
I mean, they feeling the rosters as far as the coaching staff with people that like Luka or Luka know and all that type of stuff. So I don't know, man. I don't know why Mark is so hard. Like I said, maybe he got something on Mark or something. I don't know what the case is. Like I said, you run down his history with the Mavericks so far, some of the decisions he made. It ain't like he just out here batting for 1,000, bro. It's like, what are you doing? It's like you messed up pretty much everything. Like we don't know. Like I said, the only thing out of that whole little transition that he made was the draft picks. We don't know how good they're gonna be. So we're gonna have to wait and see how they are. Because like I said, they could be good next year under Jason Kidd. And that the coach developed. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So we don't know. But as far as everything else, us getting Jay and Will's favorite player, Josh Richardson, and all this other stuff, man, it just you're not showing a good track record, bro. So I don't understand why Mark is so adamant about keeping this dude and just keeping it a secret as if he don't want to say nothing about the guy.
Yeah.
So that's how you know you're wrong when you can't even say, I still got him. Like the fact that you feel like you got to hire him and you can't say it, that means it ain't right. So it's like, like you said, I don't know what he got on him, but just the fact that you have to hide the fact that you retain him, should say enough about the situation that it's not a good look.
Especially if you said Nico said he's gonna call him. It's like, why are you calling a guy that's not on the payroll? He's a free agent, sir. There may be an answer right there. All right, guys. So the next one is a guy that we've talked about before. I know me and Jay brought this up on a previous video. John Collins. Supposedly the Mavericks are really, really big on John Collins. Will, you sold me on the DeRozan thing, so I don't know. I like John Collins, but I think me and Jay touched on this before. He's not a creator. I would prefer. It's kind of like with James Harden. You put another creator next to James Harden. I would rather have that with Luka. Give me another creator with Luka. Somebody, like I've said before, you put this guy on the bench, you got this guy in there, we good. Luka don't got to take a 5-second break no more. He has to sit down and actually take a proper break. And so I'd rather have a creator. But if we used to come back and they say, "Hey, we signed John Collins," I'm not gonna be mad.
Right.
I just would maybe somebody who create a little bit better. Maybe they're trusting Jason Kidd on developing Brunson to make it to the next level. I don't know. But if you're asking me as far as free agent, I would rather go get somebody that can create for themselves. But what y'all think?
My number one choice is DeMar. So anything other than that, I would
just
still
say,
go after John.
Yeah. I would just say, like, for me, real quick, I would just say Jalen's he's not like, because if you say, hey, we're gonna groom Jalen to be that dude playing for Luka, then who's your backup? Like, I think JB's perfect as the backup.
No, not as far as him starting with Luka, but just kind of you can be somebody we can count on as being a ball handler. You know, a consistent
you still
ball
gotta
handler.
Get somebody else. Like that ain't enough. But go ahead, Will.
And I would still, they can. If I was them, I would still put in that offer. But DeMar is my number one. I wouldn't press pause on this great player just to go chase a pipe dream like they did before.
About that though, because the way the restricted thing works, if they give the money to Collins, you can't offer that to anybody else for 3 days. Mm-hmm. It used to be 7, but now it's 3. You know what I'm saying? For 3 days, that money gonna be tied up. So say the Lakers want, for example, the Lakers want DeMar. He can sign with the Lakers, and we can't do anything about it. So the only way I think that they're gonna go after Collins is they have any team that has a cap space, any of them will go after Collins, and they have a guarantee that the Hawks are not going to sign him back. If you don't have a guarantee, like say somebody like Sacramento go after him, nobody really gonna come to Sacramento during free agency, so they can risk the throwing that money out there and waiting to see what Atlanta does. A team like Dallas, we can't afford that. If I don't know that Atlanta's not signing you back, I need to use that money for something else. Because like you said, DeMar is a straight free agent. I can just sign him whatever. But with this guy, I have to wait 3 days. I mean, well, not technically 3 days. Atlanta has 3 days to match it. But until then, say they wait to that 3rd day, I have to wait 3 days, and that can be a player that I want that's already gone. So that's the only thing.
I'm curious though, like, I don't know how. There's got to be a way. I just don't. Even if they can't afford to match, or they can't afford to match, but if they decide not to match, there's got to be some kind of sign and trade. Like, they're not gonna just let him walk, right? Like there has to be some sort of sign and trade.
I can see them sign and trade.
So if they do a sign and trade, then I think we're out, because I mean unless they are cool with taking on KP's contract, we don't really have anything to give them. And also on top of that, you know, the only way you can get him is to max him out. So if you max him out, you're not getting DeMar either, because you don't have no more money. Because you're saying this is my off season right here.
Yep.
I'm putting all my chips on the table for this dude who is 23. Well, he's 23. Yes, sir. Yeah. So I mean, I can understand it, but it's like, right. So I can understand it, but to me, it's like, boy, you. Only way I can see that being possible is if DeMar just signed somewhere already, and you maybe you swung and missed. But if there are other options on the table, I don't know that I'd make that move, because it's gonna take a full max contract to get him away from Atlanta, and then if we do that, we ain't got nothing else to get nobody else. So.
Then I want DeMar.
Let me ask y'all a question too about that. So we heard the press conference, right? We heard all the glowing remarks they made about Porzingis. Mm-hmm. If y'all had to call it right now, do you think they're gonna trade Porzingis?
No.
When? In off season? No.
It'll have to be off season if they're gonna do it. Because if you want to get the people you want, you gotta trade them off season.
No.
I don't know if I necessarily agree with that. You just, I mean, in terms of free agents, yes.
Yeah.
But also, you can also look at this free agent pool and say it's not very deep. So,
No, it's not.
No.
I mean, you can still potentially, if you wait to the deadline, you could potentially get someone that wasn't even a free agent that could be potentially better and upgrade even more. You know what I mean? Like, obviously, whoever's a free agent now, they're not going to get traded 4 months into their deal. So, you know, you're if you make a trade,
unless you're Blake Griffin.
Unless you're Blake Griffin, you make a trade at the deadline. You're saying that, hey, nobody in the free agent market is who I want, but there is somebody else I do want that I could potentially get in exchange for KP and maybe Jalen Brunson or whoever else. So, no, they won't trade him in the offseason. And I'll be honest, I can't say that they won't trade him by the deadline because it's very much a wait and see thing as far as how the season starts for him. And so I don't know if there's really a clear way to know right now that, you know, because I think it's all predicated on how he comes out now that you have a full off season to train and not rehab, and how the dynamic with him and Luka works or doesn't work. That will kind of tell whether they actually trade him. But as far as the off season, no, I don't think they're gonna trade him in the off season.
Man, Locked On Mavs had made a comment. They were saying that kind of like what y'all been saying. They would like to keep KP. They don't want it to be a situation like how Chris Paul was. Remember when he was hurt in Houston or whatever, and everybody thought he was over. It was over. Then he ended up going to Phoenix, and you know the rest is OKC, and then Phoenix, and the rest is history.
Is the rest history? It's 2-2.
No, I'm just saying like he still can play or whatever. Everybody thought he was completely out of dead or whatever. Like he need to go ahead and hang it up. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And so kind of like with this, like everybody think, KP done. There's nothing you can do with him. Yeah, everybody constantly saying, I'm constantly hearing people saying, he got a whole off season where he ain't hurt. And I'm like, okay, here you go. Like here's your chance, bro. You better come out here looking like baby Dirk out here, bro. I'm not playing.
Don't we say that every year? We say that shit every year, though, don't we?
Yeah, we do.
All right, KP, this year. You gotta get done this year.
And like the thing with KP, I think we touched on this before. It's like, how long you been in the league? 5 years? 6 years?
6, I think.
See how much? I want to say 6. So
I think it's 6. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's 6. So 3 of those years. Well, I think this is gonna be a 6 year. So 3 of those years you were healthy.
Yeah, 2015.
Yeah. So 3 of those years you were healthy. So I'm just trying to figure out what were you doing those 3 years with your game? Why hasn't anything changed? You play the exact same way you played your rookie year now. I can't pinpoint one thing.
Kind of worse now because he's a better defender. Much better defender back then.
Well, yeah. No, I'm talking about as far as like a skill. Like what?
Okay, gotcha.
What are you? Like we said before, you have no go-to move. There's like you don't have like a unstoppable post move. Nothing, bro. It's like the only thing you've changed is you can shoot threes longer now. And you're not, like you said before, that you're not doing that good. So it's just like I don't know, man. If he's gonna do something to change his game, bro, he got a lot to do, bro. He got a lot to do. This offseason is gonna be kind of short a little bit because what's this? July. We got when we put out in May or June. Yeah. No, June. We was out June. So then the season starts back up in October. So you know what I'm saying? You got a nice little because he's not playing for where is he from? Lithuania?
Latvia.
Yeah. So he's not playing for them or whatever. Like, bro, you better come back. Get with Jason Kidd's coaching staff. Let them boys work with you. Work on your game, man. We said this a million times. Work on your game. Jay had sent me something earlier, man, talking about with your boy Stephen A. Smith. And listen, him and the whole jealousy thing, bro. That's gonna have to.
If it's true.
Yeah, if it's true. But not, you know what though? To be fair, he's not the only person we've heard say that. We've heard that locally here. You know what I'm saying? And so the fact that, because remember, Donnie had to kind of go on there and be like, Dirk and Terry didn't get along. Everybody keep using that as an example.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they didn't get along and this and that and this. there's a difference between getting up, but Jason Terry wasn't jealous of Dirk though. He
Right.
might not have got along, but he wasn't jealous of him. Like
Right.
you're letting your jealousy affect your game. Like I said, we can sit here and pinpoint things that Luka had worked on to make his game better. We can't do that with you. You're more focused on getting attention, going to the clubs and strip clubs and all that type of stuff. You being a womanizer, all that stuff, bro. You focus on the wrong things. To me, it sounds like you want to be a superstar other than a basketball star.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's just that I don't know, man. Like I said, everybody's saying give him a chance. He healthy, this and that and this. I'm gonna tell you right now, if KP comes out, say we don't trade him. If KP comes back and he's still the same, bro, I'm done. I'm done. Ain't gonna be none of that. Oh, I'm giving one more year stuff. No, bro. I'm done.
No, this is
like if you don't prove yourself this year, bro.
No more excuses after this year.
Yeah, no more excuses. Like I said, you got a different coach, so you don't have Rick Carlisle over there telling you doing exactly what he said. I heard a bunch of people kept saying that. Donnie said it, Rick said it, Mark said it, he said it. You know what I'm saying? Like the thing is, if they are telling you to do that, that says something about you as a player.
Correct.
They don't trust you to do anything else.
Correct.
Hey man, just go stand in the corner.
Yeah.
Right.
How many superstars do y'all know that tell us to go stand in the corner? It's just like if they're asking you to do that, just stand in the corner and just wait. Then obviously that's something with you, bro. Because you have no other skill set for me to go to you for. You know what I'm saying?
So just go stand over there.
Yeah.
Go tell Russell Westbrook to go stand in the corner.
Exactly. Boy, Russell be like, what now? You gonna walk over there, give me the ball. Thank you. Man. Move. I'm gonna go shoot this shot. Like, bro, nah. Like I said, man, I guess I ain't got no choice if they don't trade him or whatever. But like I said, if he does not get it done this year, bro, I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm done.
I get it. Yeah.
Cause you were saying too about the whole free agent thing. The person I want for next year's free agency, man, it sounds like he might be staying where he is. Zach LaVine, there was a report that him in Chicago might be getting ready to talk about contract extensions. So I would have loved to have like a Zach LaVine or somebody like that to play along with Dirk. You know what I'm saying? Somebody that can go in there and get you 25 in his sleep. But
people just don't want to win no more or what? Like what's
bro? I don't know, bro. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't have an answer to that one, bro. Because I was kind of thinking the same thing with Giannis. It's like, bro. But then we see where they're at though. But a lot of that has to do with a lot of the injuries and stuff. Because you can't tell me if Brooklyn was 100% that Milwaukee would have beat them in the first round like that.
Right. No. But also like Milwaukee actually like really are trying to build a team around Giannis. They made the effort to do that. But I don't know. I mean, Chicago got Vucevic, so maybe that's a step in the right direction. And maybe
because supposedly
like something.
Yeah. Because supposedly they're trying to give that time. You know what I'm saying? Because I think they were in 10th place. I think they ended up what was it? 7th, 8th, 9th. So they went in the play. They went in the playing tournament. They were 11th or whatever. They played. They were at the 10th spot or 10th or 9th spot.
They were playing well towards the end of the year. They were.
And so they're kind of waiting to give that a little time or whatever. Because I think Booth has got like 2 years left. I think.
That sounds about right.
Or 3, one of them. So excuse me. So they trying to see how that go, man. But yeah, that's my thoughts on KP, man. Y'all got any other things y'all want to talk about?
No, I think we'll see by the trade deadline what's up as far as KP. If the team is rolling, he's playing well, he'll stay for the whole year. But yeah, I don't think they'll trade him during the offseason next year. And to Dallas, DeMar, we waiting on you, DeMar. Come on.
I have a quick question.
Mm-hmm.
Just quick. There was I think it was All Things Mavs was on Twitter and they posting like potential like free agent scenarios like
right.
Hey, if we sign this person, would you be happy with if we sign this person, this person, this person? And they were kind of showing like the lineups of how the roster would look depth chart wise if we sign certain players over others.
Right.
And I'm just like fearful as hell about the center position. Like there was one where people were like, "Oh, like would you sign Kelly Olynyk?" And like the depth chart they had Kelly Olynyk starting. I'm like, yo, if we have Kelly Olynyk starting at center, we are going 41-41 because I'll be honest with you, like Dwight Powell got me back after he got all the cobwebs out of his Achilles and like he started getting his win back up on there.
Man, I'd rather have him start over Kelly.
And he was rim running. That boy was open. So I would rather him be a starter, but I just wonder if he's your starter, like is that top 4? Like even if you get DeMar, bro, is that top 4 team if you have Dwight as your starter? Because if Dwight's your starter, who's your backup? Willie still?
The thing too with the whole if DeMar and Powell on the floor together, those two guys can't shoot threes. So that's gonna limit the spacing on the floor. So that's why I'm like, if you're talking about getting DeMar, he can't start. You can't have two guys on the floor that can't shoot threes. Remember, that's what happened with Houston, and he ended up trading off Capella. Remember, Capella and Russell Westbrook couldn't shoot threes, and as soon as they took Capella away, it opened up the offense. And so, I don't know. I don't want Kelly. Well, we talked about this before, Jay. I don't want Kelly Olynyk. I don't want Kelly Olynyk. Like unless you exhausted all options. He's the only thing left, and maybe I'll give you I'm gonna give you below the veteran minimum. I don't know what that is, but it's what you giving me. I don't want him.
If we can't get somebody else, I'd rather just keep who we got and just roll with that. Then spend money on Olynyk. Like that money can go somewhere else.
Because like you said, you have a team option for Willie. You know what I'm saying? Just bring him back. I guess I'd rather.
That's the worst case. That's the last case scenario right there.
Yeah, it really is.
How
many times do we say, go ahead and cut him down. Go ahead and get rid of that.
Don't worry about it. It's over. That's why when I shared that video of him hooping, and I'm like, yo, you're not gonna fool me again, buddy. I saw these videos.
Bro, he do that every offseason, bro. Yeah, he do that every offseason. Nah, bro.
I'm shooting threes now. I'm like, what?
I don't know. What is they? Hey, what are kids in development, man?
If they can develop him, man.
Bro, listen. I'm trying to tell you that. I'm trying to tell you, man.
I also want to point out real quick before we roll that that was my recommendation to bring in DeMar and bring him to the bench. So,
he's not coming off the bench.
I know.
He's not coming off the bench.
I know,
man. That dude is.
That's why Will want everybody to come off the bench.
For as much you finna pay him, he ain't coming off nobody's bench.
Ain't no way in the world.
Ain't nowhere in the world. I'm paying you 30. You coming off what? Nah, bro. You finna sit on the bench during the warm up. That's about it. You ain't coming off no bench, though. Like that dude is starting, bro.
Absolutely not.
As long as he give me buckets while he's up there, I don't mind.
Get your buckets. You definitely gonna get your buckets, man. That's probably gonna do it for us, y'all. Like I said, we touched on the conference, the press conference of the new GM and the new head coach. Touched on a couple free agents. Also talked about the new coach that the Dallas Mavericks are going to be having to add to their coaching staff. I don't know. I haven't heard anything about Luka being excited about that or anything. I guess he's busy right now. But other than that, guys, so please like and subscribe to the channel, guys. We will much appreciate it. We're trying to work our way up to our first 100 subscribers. You see that boy Jay got that Dirk on. But please like and subscribe to the channel. Also comment down below your opinions on the whole press conference. Did you believe what they said? Did you not believe? Do you think the Dallas is heading in the right direction? Do you not think they're heading in the right direction? Did we make the right choice at coach and at GM? Go ahead, let us know. So with that being said, guys, it is your boy Real. I got my camp for Will, and I got my boy Jay.